Good morning, my practical rebels. Welcome to your Saturday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Nabani Nussbaum, and we have a card that is spot on, as always, right? So let's take some breaths just to kind of settle into right here, right now. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome. We're just going to breathe a bit. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Letting your abdomen rise and fall in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice deep belly breaths. Welcome to whomever else just popped on. Lucy, good morning, Lucy. Glad you're here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you for the sunshine. Good morning, Peggy. Welcome. Glad you're here. Breathe in. Breathe out. And one more nice, deep, beyond what you typically breathe breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Awesome. Just kind of shaking yourself awake this morning. Good morning, Beth. Glad you're here. Welcome. Everybody popping in this morning. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you're all here. Glad you're all here. So we have a cool card today. It comes from Mike Dooley's Notes from the Universe on Abundance deck, which is another one of those cheeky little decks that I like. And the card is a desert scene. Not sure if it's sunrise or sunset. Yes, I figured you were getting snow up there. Down here, we just got a ton of rain. And south of us, a bunch of tornadoes. So I'll have to wait to see what the status is on all of that. I can't even look it up right now because my sister sent me something. Southern states, there were tons of tornadoes. In southern Wisconsin, there were like 5 or 6, I think. So, but there's no global warming, you know. Sassy. All right, so there's our card for today. Another nice deep breath, just drawing in that sunset or sunrise, whatever it is. And out. Awesome, awesome. So I'm going to read the card. I want to share a little thing that popped up in my feed today that fits with this card, I believe. And then we'll see where we go from there. So, tuning in with the intuitive ear, the part of you that hears exactly what you're meant to know from this card, taking it forward into today. Just knowing that behind the curtains of time and space, good things are now happening. Good things are now happening for you that will soon spill into your life is enough to make good things start happening for you. Always know this, because they are. So happy for you, the universe. So I'm going to read it once more. Again, tune in. Just knowing that behind the curtains of time and space, good things are now happening for you that will soon spill into your life is enough to make good things start happening for you. Always know this, because they are. So happy, the universe. Pretty cool, right? So what I would say about that is, as I was going through my feed, just resetting so that I was in my business page instead of my personal page on my phone in order to video this, because I've screwed that up sometimes, I came across a picture of a rainbow, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty. And when I read it, it was Denise Lynn, and she said, I know rainbows are common. I know rainbows are everyday occurrences, but they're so freaking awesome. That's the kind of attitude that creates this. It's the kind of attitude that draws to her those good things that she would like in her life when she is appreciating something that others might say, well, that's ordinary. She's appreciating it and loving it, and that opens her up to draw much more of that into her life. Again, even if you're not a person who buys into the secret that we can create our existence, at least I think most people would admit that the lenses through which we look at our world influence what we see. If you're in an Eeyore state of mind and you go out into the world, what are you going to notice? Gray and rain and dismal and yuck. But if you have the beautiful glasses on, the clear lenses, what are you going to notice? The birds, the trees, the rain. Again, yes, get rid of the shit-colored glasses. Out they go, out they go. And the best way to do that I knew this ages ago, let it go, forgot it, whatever. On my recent Tony Robbins adventure, recaptured this wisdom. When we change our state, we change the lenses. So it might be jumping up and down for a minute. It might be putting on your favorite song. Lately it's been AC/DC Thunderstruck. Why? Because they get into it, man. And when you do that for a couple of minutes, just a couple of minutes, if you jumped rope for a couple of minutes, if you danced around for a couple of minutes, if you sang an aria for a couple of minutes, it'll change your state. It will change your state. The point is you just have to start, okay? And sometimes I've got a little trick I use for that. And I used it yesterday because I had a task to do that I was like, ugh, who wants to do that? But it needed to be done. So I thought, well, I'm going to change my state and see what happens. So there is a little, like a minute thing that Brian, what is his last name? Brian Bradley. He is an exercise person. And this is one of the little things he does that gets you up, moving, etc. So all you do is you kind of take a runner stance. So one foot's in front, one foot's behind you with the heel up, and you just pump your arms. You run for 30 seconds in place. You're not moving your feet. Yes, Egascu, yes. You're moving just your upper body. 30 seconds, then you switch feet. So the other one's in front and the other one's behind with the heel up, and do it again. It's a minute. But it really gets you moving. It kind of makes you want to laugh too, which isn't good because then I could fall over. But nonetheless, it's a quick little shift. The most difficult part is getting ourselves to do it. And the little trick that I use is telling myself, it's a minute, Bonnie. You can do anything for a minute. Or it's 5 minutes, Bonnie. You can do anything for 5 minutes. Just start. Just start. Even if I do 5 seconds. So I might play the game with my brain and say, I'm just going to do 5 seconds. Just going to do, once I'm going, I'm fine, right? Objects in motion stay in motion. Objects at rest stay at rest. It's getting that from that at rest point into the motion point that makes all the difference. So just start. Just start. Let's say you're going to clean a closet. And you look at that closet and you go, yuck. I'm just going to take out 3 things. Pick a number that feels ridiculously small. 3 things. 3 things. I'm going to go pick out 3 things, and then if I'm still in a yuck frame of mind, I'll let it go. 99 times out of 100, you pick up 3 things and say, well, I can grab that one more. Well, here's one more I can part with. Making it fun. Making it fun can be helpful. There is a book called Sync Reflections, and the author of the book, good morning, Brenda, glad you are here. Welcome from Canada. The book is called, it's called Sync Reflections. The author is Marla, M-A-R-L-A, Cilley, C-I-L-L-E-Y, I believe is how it's spelled. And the gist behind it is it's helping people who are struggling with depression, anxiety, other mental health issues, or just plain I don't want to, clean their house. And Sync Reflections, the title, is related to her idea that if you can't do anything else today, scrub out your sink. Just polish your sink. Good enough. Done. But again, once you get the object, you, in motion, it's easier to stay in motion, right? So, and when we are in motion and when we are in that positive frame of mind, kind of like Denise Lynn with the rainbows today, then we see the good stuff. Then we have cleared off our lenses, so we're not just seeing shit, we're seeing the good stuff. When we see the good stuff, can you see how this endless loop gets going? When we see the good stuff, we feel a little bit heartened. Maybe we walk a little faster, so we go a little further, so we see some more things. Yet? Yes. Oh, there you go. Yep, there's Sync Reflections. Thank you, Cindy. You're so good at that. But I love that little book. It's very heartening for people who are struggling to dig out, all right? So I'm going to read the card again, and I want you to just soak up the message. Let's see where it goes. Just knowing that behind the curtains of time and space, good things are now happening for you that will soon spill into your life. is good enough, is enough to make good things start happening for you. Always know this, because they are. So happy for you, the universe. We set the tone for our lives. We choose what we see. It's the field of infinite possibilities, right? Everything's out there. What do we choose to focus on? And I'm not saying we have to be perfect at this. We all have bad days or bad moments. Good morning, Mara. Glad you are here. Let me show you our pretty picture for today. We all have bad moments, but how long they last is entirely up to us. So again, I'm going to share a couple of the Byron Katie ones because hers are so out there that it makes all of ours more reasonable. So, if you're not familiar with Byron Katie, she does the loving what is stuff. Acceptance of what is, exactly as it is right now. We create our own suffering when we do the it shouldn't be this way. So one of them was, she was out on a speaking tour and came home and her house had been ransacked. I mean, it was just, everything was gone. They stole everything. And she had that initial little shock reaction, but then she became joyful. Joyful, think about that. I mean, this is way at the end of the continuum. If we can even approximate this, we're going to be in a great place. Because she felt that, obviously, the universe was saying none of that stuff was meant to be hers anymore. And she had great faith and trust that it was going to end up, probably on the black market, but out to people who needed it more than she did. What a mindset. What a mindset. And so then she did not create her own suffering because of this incident. There was another one where she walked off stage after giving a talk right into the barrel of a pistol. There was some guy who was disgruntled and he was going to kill her. Again, she was in that frame of mind of, okay, maybe this is the moment I die, and acceptance. And she was able to have a conversation with him and he did not kill her. But again, that mindset of, I wonder how this is going to work out, or I wonder what the purpose for this event in my life is, something that we would typically see as a negative event. There was a story on the Tony Robbins stuff about a woman who had lost her 3-year-old daughter, I believe to cancer, and how she changed her mindset from that was the worst day in my life to that was the best day in my life. And it was amazing listening to her in terms of how she embraced her new mission in life because of her daughter's death, etc. That mindset shift is so powerful, and we are the ones in charge of it. We are the ones who get to choose. What mindset are you going to pick for today? Here we have this beautiful Saturday. I'm going to call it a beautiful Saturday. It's gloomy and rainy and tornado-y and whatever. I'm going to call it a beautiful Saturday. What am I going to do with my beautiful Saturday? I'm going to spend some time with my friend Diane. I'm going to clean out my emails. I think that would be a great thing to do. I have 2,306 emails that have not been read. But what I like to do, I love using my timer. This is another Marla Silly thing. I like setting the timer for 20 minutes. How many emails can I get rid of in 20 minutes? That does two things. It gets me moving quickly, it gets me making decisions, but it also keeps me from wandering off into, oh, I could read this one, blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'll leave that's it. I'll move on to the rest of them. Is that all? Yes, that's all. There's actually 5,140 of them total. Yeah, email is one of those things. So I'm just going to keep working on it. So if I agree to do 20 minutes of clearing emails, it'll be down under 2,000 again. I'll be a happy camper. Move on. I'll go do something else. Lots of options. Yesterday, one of the things that I did that was really helpful was I was sitting a lot. And I was sitting and my back was hurting. And I made the mistake of eating cereal yesterday morning. I can't do grains. And it was organic cereal. I'd picked out the box very carefully. $6 box of cereal that you could wipe out in two breakfasts, right? And I broke out all over. I had these itchy, rashy, whatevers all over. So I won't be finishing that box. I just thought I wanted something different because I usually have eggs for breakfast. So I wanted something different. And I thought, well, this will be fine. It wasn't fine. So, but then I needed to do something. Instead of sitting here and itching, I needed to do something. So I went over to the house we're flipping. I painted a little bit. What else did I do? There were 2 or 3 things I accomplished while I was over there, and I'm like, okay, now I got my head clear. Now I can go back and get some work done. So, what about for you? What will you do with this beautiful day? I'm trying to remember what the Mary Oliver words are, but it's something about what will you do with your one beautiful life is kind of the gist. So let's just take that down to the day. What will you do today? What will you do for you today? What will you do for others today? What will you do to make today a stellar day? A stellar day. One of the things that Tony Robbins had us do was think back. You do this in the priming video that he has, that little priming video, 15 minutes in the morning, where you remember wonderful events from your life. You know, one that I remembered that is always going to be a peak experience for me. It was before my husband and I got married. It was October. We were on the lake shore. We were like in Manitowoc area. And we were just walking on the beach, and the sun was shining, and it was beautiful, and there were pumpkins all over the place decorated. It was just, I mean, kind of an ordinary moment, but fabulous. There it is. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Isn't that odd? If we asked ourselves that question every single morning, how much more rich would our lives be? So I'm asking you, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life today? Today. What are you going to do? Have an awesome day. We'll show you our pretty card again. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.